Hi snooker fans, Curtis Brayfoot here for QSports.club. We've got a real treat this morning. We've managed to catch up with World Snooker referee Leo Scullion. Leo, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, Kurt, thank you.
Alright Leo, great to see you back. Saw that you refereed your first match on Saturday, Craig Steadman against Jamie Burnett. Leo, I know it's been a real tough time for you, mate, having to battle lung cancer, but you've come through it, and we're all absolutely just so elated to see you back on the tour. Tell me what it's been like.
There's a question. It has been very difficult. It's approximately 2 years now since I was first diagnosed, but I've had fantastic support. There's a lot of stuff goes on that probably shouldn't go into because it's just too long to try and explain.
Yeah.
But it's been a long road, but I've had a lot of support, family and friends. Snooker world, people tweeting me, the refs coming to see me and visit me, Ollie and Jan from Belgium and Holland coming to Glasgow just to say hello and see how I was doing. So yeah, it was good, but basically the position at the moment is that the tumour's still there, they can't remove it, but they've managed to shrink it to such an extent that it's not active. I don't think they use the word remission anymore, but it's not active, and I get a scan every 3 months, and as long as that behaves itself, they send me away and I come back 3 months later. Well, I hope that continues for a few years.
Well, Leo, that's really excellent, mate. Like I said, we were all so glad to see you back. But Leo, look, do you know what? Nobody ever really gets to see what the referees are really about. So tell us how it all started for you. I mean, before snooker. I mean, like, we know a little bit that you were a taxi driver, but like, tell us a bit more.
Well, I first got into snooker. I was a police officer, many years ago now, and they have their own snooker circuit, as it were, because the guys work shifts and it's difficult to be involved in normal competitions. And a friend of mine was organising an event and needed referees, and this was back in 1984. So I said, yeah, I played snooker a wee bit then. I thought I knew all about it. So he wanted to do it properly and said, no, you need to actually be a referee because this is a proper event. I said, yeah, I can do that. So he handed me the rule book. He said, right, go and study that. And I looked through it and thought, oh my God, I don't know the rules of this game that I'm actually playing. So that's really where it started. I sat an exam, passed it, and that was the start of it at an amateur level. Just continued refereeing, managed to work my way through the various grades, and then in you're testing my memory here, Curtis. 1998, 99, I joined what was then the PRA, Professional Referees Association.
Right. Okay.
And that was your route from amateur snooker into the world of professional snooker, if you could make the grade. So I joined that, got some work with World Snooker, and you do a 2-year probation, and you just sort of take it from there. They decide if you're good enough or not, and obviously somebody made a mistake, said that I was good enough to stay.
Well, you definitely earned your stripe, because I know you refereed your first match, first televised match that is, in 2001 in the Regal Scottish Masters.
Yeah. And
then your first final in China in 2011. So they actually gave you a little 10-year stretch there to really build you up for your first final.
I think what happened, the Regal Scottish was an invitation event.
Yeah.
And it was run by what eventually became One Ted Sport. I don't think they're in existence anymore. And I think because it was a Scottish event, that helped me get the opportunity. So I did that, and then there was all sorts of availability issues because we all had jobs, or most of us had jobs at the time, and trying to juggle refereeing with working. So it was probably around 2005, Sean Murphy won the World Championship, that I had a meeting with Mike Ganley, and we had a discussion about my availability, and we sort of sorted some things out then about what I could do, what I wouldn't be able to do. And I think that's probably where it really started again for me, as it were.
Okay.
At this kind of level, and I did a lot more work, and it led to the China final. That was Mark Selby, current world champion, against Judd Trump.
Good stuff.
And Judd won it. Can't remember the score offhand, but I'm sure it was Judd's first ranking win.
Yeah, you
Might
are
be
right.
wrong. Someone will tell me. I'm quite sure. I apologise if I'm wrong, but that's my memory of it.
No, you're actually right, Leo, because I was actually out there as well.
Yeah,
you're right. That was his first tournament because he actually then came to Sheffield afterwards and got to the final against John
Right.
at the Crucible. So yeah, you're spot on there. Great memory there, mate. Great memory. Right, Leo, I've also heard on the grapevine from a few of the refs, right, that you're quite a hustler on the snooker table as well. You got a highest breaker 93.
That was a long time ago.
So I've heard a lot of the referees are avoiding you on the snooker table. But Leo, what are your hobbies like away from snooker? Like, obviously you got a tough schedule. You're at tournaments week in, week out. When you get a chance to have a break.
Well, obviously things have been sort of different over the past couple of years, but let's assume that none of that happened. Yeah, golf. I was quite keen in the golf. I think they call it army golf. You zigzag up, it goes left, right, left, right. But it was good. It was when we go from the venue, that accommodates the snooker, where we're indoors all the time, and the conditions we play in, just to be able to get out and get a bit of fresh air. That's good. So I always enjoyed that. Out eating, as you can tell. I've been working hard on that. I like my Indian food. And then just really spending time at home with the family. Because I had been away so much, it was difficult when I was home because my wife works, and so just once I got home, it was nice to be not committed to anything and just be available for when she was off, and we could go out, have a bite to eat, just go for a drive, spend some time looking at the ocean. Sounds very boring and not doing very much, but I think probably like a lot of, not that I've asked people, but probably a lot of folk involved in snooker, when they've got their own time, they like to decide not to do very much.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Now, Leo, you ref so many matches in your career so far, and is there any match that sticks out in your mind?
I think I've done 2 semi-finals of the World Championship, and I think they're the special ones because there's nothing like the Crucible.
Yeah.
Any player who's played there would tell you there's nothing like it for them. And for a referee, it's definitely the pinnacle of our career to be at the Crucible. And just to get there is one thing, but to actually be involved in a one-table situation is fantastic. And there was a funny moment, not for one of the players involved, but my second semi-final was Ronnie versus Barry Hawkins, which was a repeat of the previous year's final.
Yeah.
We won't go into the result, but it meant that we had an exhibition in the Crucible involving Ken Doherty, Stephen Hendry, Dennis Taylor was on the mic wandering about, and I was refereeing, shall we say, and it was an absolute scream. Poor Stephen got such abuse. In good faith, I suppose it's sort of a bit of banter, they call it. I think if it'd been me, I don't know that I would have felt that it was banter because it was quite hard going. It was good fun.
Well, I suppose you had so many great times at the Crucible, Stephen. I suppose you can take a bit of abuse from time to time, but at the end of the day, the old king of the Crucible.
I'm sure you can dish it out. Just a bit, I think it was 2 against 1 on that occasion.
Absolutely. So is there any moments that you really think, well, I wish that hadn't happened during one of your matches or anything like that?
I suppose the one that sticks, and certainly the one that from time to time people for some reason want to ask me about, is the thing with Ronnie against Mark Selby.
Yeah.
And it was my first time at the Crucible. And I made the decision. It was a touch and ball. And Ronnie disagreed with me. So that led to an exchange.
Yeah.
But it was fine. And how these things come about, who knows? But I suppose if that hadn't happened, the rest of that event for me would have been absolutely perfect. But somehow, for whatever reason, it's become a talking point now and again.
Well, I suppose anyway, these are the highs and lows, and I suppose we need a
Yeah.
bit of rough with this move from time to time.
I suppose the one thing, and going back to my earlier days, we were doing a qualifier, and I really wish it hadn't happened because it was just that stupidity. At the mid-session interval in tournaments, as you probably know, once the table's brushed and ironed, we set the table up ready for frame 5, and then we'd go away and have a coffee or whatever. And days going by, it was a cigarette, but not anymore. So it was a match involving, I'm sure it was it Ken Doherty and Ian McCulloch, maybe. Anyway, it's a long time ago, but we got to the end of frame 4 and I came out, the table fitter was busy, and I thought, right, I'll nip out first, grab a cup of coffee and then come back in and deal with it. So table fitter, brushed the table, ironed the table, I got the 2 players, walked back into the booth, and there's not a ball on the table. I'm like, oh my god, what have you done? Oh, it's so bad. But these are the things that happened and you learn from them. And from that would never happen again. you just learn by your mistakes.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, Leo, it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you, mate. And I'm so thankful for your time. And Leo, I'm sure I'll speak for everybody on the snooker circuit, the snooker community. But all of us at Q Sports Club really wish you all the very best of the coming season. And once again, so glad to see you back, mate.
Thanks very much indeed. I appreciate the time.
You take care, mate. Have a great day.
Thank you.